So we'll get started. So the shayla that we're discussing during the shir is Yom Tov Sheni of Rosh Hashanah. And so there's two parts of the discussion. There's first part of the discussion is Yom Tov Sheni B'chal Shagolius. Then there's what's the din of Rosh Hashanah in Eretz Yisrael. Does Eretz Yisrael need to do 2 days or 1 day? And then there is, what about Shechianu on Yom Tov Sheni Rosh Hashanah? Do you make a Shechianu on Kiddush and on the Shefer? So the sugya starts in Gemara Beyond after the Raman Beis. The Gemara says in the first Gemara Makim, you have a machlekes whether Yom Tov Sheni Shagolius is one Kedusha or it's 2 separate Yom Tovim. Itmar Shnei Yom Tovim Shagolius. Rav Amar Noda Muzeh Muteres Bezeh. If a beya was nailed in one of the Yom Tovim, which is also Mishum Hachana, different Gzeiris. And so if a nailed on one day, it's also for the next day.
Wait, how about that day itself?
That day itself was also, so originally the Isser is Mishum Muchan. We're worried about if Yom Tov and Shabbos are right next to each other. And one day Yom Tov can't be Mechin. There's Isser D'Oraisa to prepare from Yom Tov to eat something which was prepared on Shabbos for Yom Tov. So maybe this egg, this egg which is born on Yom Tov, which is after Shabbos, is Isser D'Oraisa to eat it. Since it was Muchan.
It wasn't Muchan for Yom Tov?
Because it was Muchan from beforehand, right? The egg was getting ready. The beya was getting ready on Shabbos the day beforehand, and then it was born on Yom Tov. So it turns out that Shabbos was preparing for Yom Tov.
Why was Shabbos? Then maybe the Shabbos before. Maybe every egg you're preparing Shabbos for Yom Tov.
I'm saying whatever we know. I'm saying the day before it's born. That's the main preparation. That's the main day.
Really?
That's the Gemara.
So, yeah.
Huh?
You can't change the Gemara.
I'm trying to understand it. What does that mean? Shabbos was preparing it. It was born on Sunday on Rosh Hashanah. It wasn't born on Shabbos.
The final hachanas was done the day before it was
You
born.
have to become a veterinarian to know this.
Mm-hmm. Which hachanas? Who's hachanas? Who? The Abish is hachanas?
Yeah, famous. The birds, the chickens.
Chickens hachanas.
Mm-hmm. So this is the nice to eat this.
Nailed 1 day. Was nailed 2 days? Was it 2 day?
No. If it's Shabbos and Sunday, one Shabbos and
Which
Sunday.
day was it born? Somebody's born on 1 day or 2 days? How many birthdays do you have?
It was born on Sunday.
Born on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
Well,
the
Shabbos
Chana was
maybe the Chana was the Shabbos before.
No.
Maybe it's born on Wednesday.
That's
for some reason the Gemara.
The day before is Chana.
For some reason we understand the Ikar Hachana is the day before.
Okay.
And the was saying that Minatayri you can't eat this. Therefore, Chacham made a Gzeira also on 2 days on Yom Tov, which is not after Shabbos. In case
Shabbos, you could eat.
You can't eat it.
Either Chana was the day before on Friday.
Yeah, there's no Shabbos, but there's
because it depends both the day before and that day. I'm trying to understand the whole story. I don't remember.
There might be some other shilas of muksa, of neil, whatever. I don't remember all the pratim. But here the Isser is only midirabanan. Because it wasn't after Shabbos, it was just born on regular Yom Tov. So it's also Atu Shabbos.
If Yom Tov was in the middle of the week, it's no problem. Beit Hashanah the Rosh Hashanah.
Midaraisa, but Midarabanu were machmir in case of Yom Tov, which is after Shabbos.
Every Yom Tov we do in case it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question is, could you say is it also for both days of Yom Tov or just for 1 day? That's the machlekes over here. Do you say
that?
I
would for sure say Gzeira. Madach Tuesday, Madach Wednesday, Rosh Hashanah. I'm worried about a Rosh Hashanah that comes on a Sunday. So for sure Monday I should be Geyser.
No,
so the question it boils down to.
The first day.
The question it boils down to is: do we look at both days of Yom Tov as one Yom Tov, or is it 2 separate Yom Tov?
If it's 2 separate, we're not worried about it.
It's 2 separate Yom Tov, and one of them is for sure Chol. One of them is a weekday, and therefore there is no problem of Hachana.
Because the day before,
either today,
if today is Chol, either way, on the second day it should be. Either way, it wasn't Shabbos before, the day before, the second day. If the second day is a separate day, the day before it definitely wasn't a Shabbos.
Yeah.
The second day,
we're only Aser for 1 day, right? This egg is the Gzei was only to make it.
Before that 1 day
the Gzei was only also to make it for this Yom Tov.
For the first day, because the day before it could have been Shabbos.
Let's read Lashon the Gemara inside, and then we'll discuss it outside. Itmar Shnei Yom Tovim Shel Golius. Rav Amar Nolda Bezeh Muteres Bezeh. Egg which is born on the first day Yom Tov is Mutar on Yom Tov Sheni. He holds as two separate kedushas. One understanding on this one is mutter on that one. It is also on both of them because it's one Yom Tiv. You can't say if you say it's two different Yom Tivim. So if that is two separate days, and one of them is for sure Chayil, and one of them is Kodesh, one of them is Chayil. So either today it was born. If the day was born, the first day of Yom Tiv was Yom Tiv, and the second day of Yom Tiv is really Chayil. It's really regular day. Then there's no problem. It's only also for Yom Tiv. That's Yom Tiv Shein Shel Galis is really a weekday, and it's fine. If you say that the first day was really Chayil and the second day was Yom Tiv, so it was born on Yom Chayil. So it should be fine. That's
preparation is only a problem for Shabbos. The day before problem is only if it's Shabbos.
If it was born on the Shabbos,
Yom Tiv, we don't have that problem.
Or if it's born on the Shabbos or Yom Tiv, we say it's also. In case it was born on a day on Yom Tiv, which is after Shabbos, or Shabbos, which is after Yom Tiv.
Okay. Because food, we don't have a problem with Yom Tiv.
The Nakoda we're trying to bring out is 2 days of Yom Tiv. Is it one Kedusha, or is it two? Or is one of them really Yom Chayil? We're not sure, so therefore we're machmir. Right, so the Gemara over here, yes, the Gemara against Stam Yom Tivim.
Stam Yom Tiv?
Yeah, no, Stam Yom Tivim.
Shnei Yom Shel Galis there.
Yeah, soon the next piece is going to be Rosh Hashanah. So the Gemara says Leima Kosav Rav Asi Kedusha Achasi. So Rav Asi says that it's also for both days of Yom Tiv. He holds that it's one long Yom Tiv, and that's why if it's also on the first day, it's automatically going to be also on the second day also. So but they're going to ask Rav Asi Rav Asi had an interesting minhag that when there was 2 days of Yom Tiv, in between the 2 days you make Havdalah, right? Because really, one of these days is Chayil. If the first day is Yom Tiv, and the second is Chayil, so you make Havdalah twice.
So we see that he holds.
You see, you hold it was two separate kedushas. It wasn't one kedusha. So the answers Rav Asi Sfuki Misafkali. He wasn't sure whether it's one kedusha or two kedushas. Therefore, Vavi Hachal Chumra V'Hachal Chumra.
So therefore, he's also being mechumra with the beitzim.
And he treats it like one kedusha. Yeah, he's going chumra both ways. By the egg, he's a cheshish. Maybe it's one kedusha, and it's also both days. And when it comes to Havdalah, he's machmir. Maybe it's two separate kedushas, and therefore he'll make Havdalah twice. Right, and Rashi explains what the suffix is. How do you know what the signs? What's the svara to say something is one kedusha or whether it's two separate kedushas, 2 different days?
It's 1 day or 2 days.
What decides whether I should look at it as one kedusha or two separate kedushas? Now, Rashi explains what's the deciding factor behind it. So Rashi explains what was the suffix about? Im chayk chachamim hu. The shaila was this Yom Tov Shein Shel Galis? Is it something we started doing on our own, or was this a takana of chachamim? Because im chayk chachamim hu shehutu ala Galis dereis that the chedimenic zera that you have to do it on the Galis that you have to do 2 days of Yom Tov. Va'afil yirbu behem chachamim yedei itim. Even if you have chacham who knew exactly when the first day of when Yom Tov really was, you eisin shleim. Still, you don't have to do it for 2 days because that was the takana of the chachamim.
Why would the chacham make such a chayk? What's the svara to say? The chacham would say that if you know for sure.
Well, back then,
2 days.
Yeah. Well, back then they didn't know. Once they make a takana,
but they would make a takana. They would say, when you guys figure out a more better way, then don't do 2 days.
Right,
why would they make?
Right. Well, the Gemara mentions a svara. Later the Gemara mentions a svara that could be Yidden will go into Golos, and we won't have people that know.
No, but it's saying even though you know,
because maybe later on a later period people won't know.
Now we won't know this, and people always.
Well, keep us. Yeah. So if you say that Yom Tov Shein Shel Galis is a takana of the Chachamim, then even if we know the real day we have to do Shnayim, im kain hadi hu midivei seifim kim aruch. So both of them are. Then both of these are for sure kaddish. You can't say maybe one day is really chel because once a chal made a takana, they have to keep both days. So both days have a kedusha of Rosh Hashanah, and if so, then we treat it like one. Both days are like one long kedusha, one long Rosh Hashanah. Because that was
the Chacham made Rosh Hashanah into 2 days.
Chachamim said, you for sure. It's not a suffix anymore. You for sure have to do 2 days. If you for sure have to do both days, then it's one long kedusha. But im heim ason me'alein misafik, or it's pshat Yom Tov Shein Shel Galis that the Yidden started doing this on themselves on their own. They didn't know which day Yom Tov was, so therefore they did both days. I was saying, Okay, let's see. So if if the Yidden start doing this on their own, and someone who really knows what the real day is, he doesn't need to do 2 days because it's not a takana of the chacham, and they just start doing it on their own. So if it's not a real Yom Tov Sheni, it's not a real takana of the chacham, and we start doing it on our own, so then you can't say.
What do you mean by Abdullah? It should actually not be Yom Tov. What does it mean by Abdullah?
But we don't know, right? You have a suffix. You have to treat both days the same. But really, one of them is the Yom Chil. Really, one of them you can't. It's not for sure both.
It's only
you have to make Abdullah.
Right, mitzvah and suffix.
But it's not. But it's not. But for sure, one of these days is a regular day. Right, so if you say this is really 2 kedushas, so we're machmir both days, but each day gets because maybe today's something, but it's impossible to say that both days are kaddish, unless you say that chachamim were misakin. Kind of interchange the starting from the chachamim, and then both of them are for sure kaddish, and it's 1 day of kedusha. It's 1 long kedusha. So this is the machlekes. So halacha we passing that other yom tovim are separate kedushas. Right, so it's not 1 long kedusha. It started in Mitzad the Suffolk. Why do we still? We didn't start Rosh Hashanah yet. Well, but the Eidel Chayda. So now that we know, we have the cheshbon according to the calendar. So why do we keep doing 2 days of Rosh Hashanah anyways? If it only started in Mitzad the Minog, it wasn't originally a Gzeir of the Chachamim, and now we know which day is really Yom Tov. So the Gemara asks the question. The Gemara said in the 3rd paragraph, now that we know when the Kriyas of the moon, so my time of Dinan Trei Yomi, why do you have to do 2 days of Yom Tov? The Gemara answers, they sent to the Yidden in Golos, be careful, keep the minhag of your fathers to do 2 days of Yom Tov. Why? Because even in the Galter Malchus, sometimes there'll be generations where they're going to make a Gezerah that you can't learn Torah, and people won't know the Cheshbonus. And they're going to get messed up. They're going to end up doing the wrong day of Yom Tov because they're not going to know what the cheshbon is. Therefore,
now that they have a smartphone and they have cameras everywhere you walk.
Lapel Chanan said that you should keep this minhag. So Lapel, that's how we keep it, but it's considered 2 separate kedushas. Right? So the nafkamina is if.
I hear what you're asking. You're saying now it's impossible to mess up ever. Right?
Saying the information is all over the place. It's impossible to.
All you need is what was it, year 2000? What was it called?
Y2K.
Y2K, so you have a Y3K and it might get messed up.
So lapel.
No, but that's only for people in New York City or in the United States. What about those countries that can't do that?
Can't do what?
Right, other people live in places.
Right. Which countries don't have?
They have in Iran. They have a lot of Yidden that live in Iran.
Iran doesn't have the tech.
They have a lot of Yidden living over there. I'm not sure how.
There's
a lot of fine. I'll see like a cooler, whatever it'll be.
What they have in Iran, I hear they have a huge community. It's one of the biggest Jewish communities.
They also have internet. What?
Yeah, but I'm saying whatever. Okay.
Fine, okay, good. Good.
So this is what we do, and the nafka. There's a few practical nafkaminas. Like if we go,
don't we do Havdalah nowadays?
Oh, so the Rishonim say taka. Why don't we do Havdalah twice? So you say because us we're going to be mezalzel the end of Rishonim. It's not make Havdalah. It's also it's not really Yom Tov. We just made Havdalah yesterday. It's not really. So that's why. So that's why we don't do Ravas's minhag of making Havdalah twice.
I see. This is related. Definitely people to make
they would. If you just made Havdalah, right.
Fine. So this is all regarding Stam Yom Tovim, yes, Sukkot, Pesach, Shavuos. What about Rosh Hashanah? So when it says Rosh Hashanah, the Alachol Hadeyas is considered Kedusha Achas. It's 1 long Kedusha. So where do we see this? In the 2nd Aramakim, also in the Gemara in there. The Gemara says, Itamar, Shnei Yom Tovim Shal Rosh Hashanah, 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, Rav Shmuel Darmit Havayu, they both said, Nilda Bezeh Asura Bezeh. Kevin agrees that Be'ah, which is nailed on 1 day of Yom Tov, it's also for both days, because it's 1 long Kedusha. Why? Where do we see why? So it must be there. So we see that the 2nd day of Yom Tov of Rosh Hashanah was like Gzeira of the Chachamim. Even though we say that other Yom Tov Shein Shel Golius, that was Mitzvah Minhag, but we see Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah Chachamim were guys that they have to do 2 days. So where do we see this? The Tanan, the Rishayna Hayu Mekabel and Eidos HaChidush Kol Hayim. In the Beis Hamikdash first on Elul, when they were waiting for the Edom to saw the new moon, they would let them come all day long. Pam Achas Nishto HaEdim, but one time they came very late. V'niskalku halavim b'shir. The Levim messed up the shir, meaning by the Tamid Shalbein Arbaim, the second carbon Tamid that they brought, they would have a different shir. If today was Rosh Chodesh and was Rosh Hashanah, they would sing a one shir, and if it was full, they would sing a different shir. But usually the Edom never came that late after the Tamid Shalbein Arbaim. So by the time Tamid Shalbein Arbaim came, no one showed up, so they said the regular shir.
There's no special Tabanis Rosh Hashanah.
Special Kabbalas.
Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
So they waited till the Edis came and dann haben sie gebracht. Aber after Mincha... Nee, the Shir Shachis was the weekday Shir, always.
Aha, the problem was by Shachis.
The problem was Bein Arbaim. Bein Arbaim, they did the wrong shir. Usually the Chacham and the Edom never came so late. Usually they came before the evening, and they were when they were singing the right shir.
When did they do the Kabbanis for Rosh Hashanah?
Oh, so the
Edom
Kabbalah?
came right by Bein Hashmoshes.
I'm not sure when they did the
When did the
Kabbalah.
Edom come? Bein Hashmoshes?
No.
Yeah, Nishtao Edom love it.
After
You're saying after Shachis they came.
after Bein
They
Arbaim.
come in the morning.
Bein Arbaim is right after Chatzos. So they did the
Kabbanis we would have no problem, but the Shir was already done.
They did it already.
Shir's already done.
One second. When do you see the moon?
Let me think in the Gemara.
Fundamental sein Scheide. You can't send the Nile Levone nach dem Shkia Sachama und in jener Zeit von Chedesh ist die Levone after the sun. Die Levone ist sehr klein. Sie ist auf einem hohen Platz. The sun geht da rund, it's after Shkia until the moon goes down, because the moon left no. You have just 10-15 minutes, so you see it. You come next day to Besden, you come even in the morning. You saw Besden, last night I saw the moon. You can't come the same day I saw the moon today, there's no such a thing.
The Maisa is given that they came after they brought in the afternoon.
They came
after the
They can't come the
saw
same
last
day.
night. They saw last night, but they only made it to
Bein
Beis.
Arbaim they gekommen, als sie haben gesehen.
There's never such a thing as Eidah should come today. We saw the moon just now. Or sein Besden in Yerushalayim.
And which day is Rosh Hashanah? The Tag was eben gesehen?
Yeah,
It's always the talk was the Eidah coming Eidah zone. Doesn't mean they said they could see last night.
Then Lamed Elul.
When breaking the Kabbanis, if it's something from Bein Arbaim.
Also,
That's the
if they-
problem.
If they have time. Yeah, the
the
Gemara written this wegen them. The Gemara doesn't talk about the
Oh,
Karbanos.
it is all-
Chera, ich weiß nicht. If they had time, they bring it. They didn't have time.
It should be also the same problem.
Okay.
So the problem was they did the wrong. So they did the wrong shear. So what did they do? They didn't like it. It looked like a joke. They raised Yom Tov, but they sing the shir shachel. So therefore, skim shleiyu mekabel esa edim ela adam mincha. They made a takana that they will only be mekabel the edim that today that they saw the moon until mincha. After that, they wouldn't be mekabel them anymore. Because they already did the shir because they already sang the song by the carbon. The shir shachel. El adam mincha v'im bo edim min mincha ma'ila neigin eisa hayim kaid. What would they do if the edim came after mincha and they said that we knew that today is really Rosh Hashanah? So still they wouldn't listen to them. Neigin eisa hayim kaidish. They would finish off that day b'kedusha, even though it was going to end up being chel because they didn't accept the edus. Well, the machar kaidish, and the next day is going to be the Yom Tov Midaraisa. Right, Yom Lamed Aleph. They would finish. First, they started Mitzvah Suffolk. The first day, the Eden didn't come yet. So they treated the whole day b'kedusha in case the Eden come. Bein Arbaim came and they brought the carbon, so the Eden didn't come. So what did they do? So they started the day b'kedusha with keeping all the halachas. So they finished off the day also b'kedusha. They wouldn't do any yisurim without Isra Melacha. And even if the Edom came, they wouldn't accept them, and therefore,
so we ended up with 2 days Kaddish.
Yeah, and the second day was the Yom Tov Midaraisa. So what you see over here from this Gemara is that they made a takana. You haven't made that then. At the Chamir Takana that they had 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. These 2 days of Rosh Hashanah that they finished off the first day of Kodesh, even though they know the real next day is going to be the real Yom Tov Midaraisa, still they were in the Beis Hamikdash in Yerushalayim. They were like 2 days of Kodesh. So, and it wasn't a suffix. It wasn't for both of them.
It wasn't really 2 days of Kaddish. They did Chel till Mincha, till the Eidim came.
They sang the song of Chel, but they didn't do any Isser Melacha. They treated the whole 2 days like Kaddish, even though they knew after the Karban Shabbat Arbaim, even though the Eidim came and they knew really it's supposed to be, they knew that the next day was going to be Yom Tif and not today, they still kept all the Isser Melacha for both days.
So what shir did they sing in the morning?
So they sang Shir Shel Chel. They were singing Shir Shel
So you
Chel.
still have the same problem. If it's a 2-day Yom Tiv, how come you're saying Shir Shel Chel?
So that was, yeah. They are saying that
It's
they
better to do a Shir Shel Chel than a Shir Shel Yom Tiv and find that it wasn't Yom Tiv, maybe.
Yeah, because the first day is only Midrabanan, because they didn't accept the Eidim.
That was the game in Babeker. They always said Shir Chel.
Yeah, they
And
did.
the Shir Chel Yom Tov was always Ben Arbaim.
Even on a really, even on.
Because you never know when
The Eidim never
when
came in the
Eidim-
morning.
Maybe
Usually the
Was sagt man der zweite Tag Rosh Hashanah? Shir bei Shachris. Welche Shir sagt
was
man?
mir so.
Shir Shel
Nein,
Chel.
was haben sie
It's
gesagt
the
damals?
Shir of Rosh Hashanah,
In
whichever
the morning
Shir.
can't they make it Shir Chel. Well, mir
Das
dachte
will be
ich,
second
mir
day.
dachte ich, hat die Takone von Shir Shel Yom Tov nur gewinnt, sagen zu mir. Ich dachte mir.
Okay.
Ich check's nicht mal.
So Rashi teaches us.
So now I'm gleich.
So we see from this Gemara that it was Takara v'Cham to 2 days of Kodesh, and therefore it's Kedusha Achas, because both of them are for sure Kodesh.
Yeah, Rashi.
Rashi says, Amot Chilat Hasiya Shnei Yamim Rosh Hashanah, that the beginning of the Takana of the 2 Yamim Rosh Hashanah, Afilu beBeisin have a V'lemi Safik. It was even in Basic, and it wasn't in Basic, and it wasn't a Safik. Both of them are for sure Kodesh. It's not for one of them are Kodesh, one of them are Chol. Shahari Vadei Shiyim Tevel Machar. They knew that the next day, after the Talmud Shalvin Arbaim, when they don't accept Eidim anymore, they knew that the next day was going to be the real Yom Tiv, not today. Vafa Pikin Tikkun Ula Seising. Still they were
they called the
Masakin to
rest of the
finish.
day Kodesh.
They still kept the rest of the day Kodesh. Shema Mina Chak Chachamim Hayo. So you see from here that it was a Takana v'Chachamim, and both days are for sure Kodesh, and therefore it's one long kedusha. Then kan leima miman nafsha chan mina yuchil. You can't say what for sure one of them is chil. The shemein kan chil. There is no chil. El shneim kodesh. Both of them are kodesh. One midraisa, one midrabanan. But it's one long kedusha.
And this is only Rosh Hashanah, because other Yom Tovim you figure it out by Tezvav. Here the problem is because it's the first day of Yom Tov.
Because other Yom Tovim,
Yeah,
the
that
Chachamim
problem.
never made a takana.
Right, that's the problem.
Yeah. The other Yom Tovim, Chachamim were misakin the Yom Tov Sheni Shal Galias. The Yidden.
The problem that Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Hashanah is Kodesh.
Right, you don't have time to
That's
figure
why
out
it's
the biggest
harder.
problem. But normally by Tezvav it would have all been figured out. So you didn't have this, so that's why it's only Rosh Hashanah, this
Right,
problem.
that they were misakin. So this is in the times of the Beis Hamikdash when they were doing everything al pi hari'iyah. So next, so the Gemara. So the question is, did this tatkana change? Maybe nowadays things change that we don't have to do 2 days. So in the Gemara, third Maram in the Gemara Beya. So the Gemara says, Amar Rabba, the takanas Rabban Yechna ben Zakai be'elach beitzim uteres. From the Takana Ve'echem Ben Zakai, the egg, which is born on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, is going to be mutter on the second day. Why? What changed? Once Beis Hamikdash was destroyed and didn't have the problem of singing the wrong shir, and
They went back to 1 day. They went back to 1 day.
They were misakin that you could be makabel the Eidim even after the Talmud Shal Bein Arbaim, even Mina Mincha, because they didn't have the carbon anymore.
So how do you get 2 days Yom Tov? Then that would have been the first
So
day.
you can. So according to this, he was
There's no 2-day Yom Tov then, according to this.
according to this,
Right.
and that's why.
wait.
That,
So
that's
what's
why
Beitz
the
B'Teres?
Gemara
It's not Yom
says.
Tov. What's the Chiddush Beitz B'Teres? It's not Yom Tov
But
the next day.
even
But the chiddush is that he got rid
in
of the 2-day Yom Tov.
Yerushalayim,
He got rid of the 2-day Yom Tov.
Right. There is no
That's-
2-day Yom Tov.
only in Yerushalayim,
Wait, take it easy.
Yeah, fine.
not in the
fine.
whole world,
Yeah, we're talking about
That's
Yerushalayim.
enough.
because the whole world didn't know what when.
Lazayin. But Al Kapanim, the Gemara brings out one that could have the Gemara says from the times of Yichem and Zakai, they didn't when the base of was destroyed, so they didn't have the problem of singing the wrong shir. So they went back to what it used to be, and really, so l'chayda should only be one kedusha. But the Gemara doesn't accept this. The Gemara says Rava Omar, Af mi takanas Rabban Yichem and Zakai ve'ilach b'Yisasura. Even from the days of Rabbi Yechon ben Zakai, it's still the Beis Asur. Why? He says he didn't fully get rid of the takana they had originally. Because Milay Moide Rabbi Miloi Meida Rabbi Yechim and Zakai, would he not agree She'im Bo Eidim and Mincha L'mayla, that if the Eidim Take came in Mincha L'mayla, Shenegin Isei Hayim Kodesh and Mocher Kodesh? Would he not agree that you do both days Kodesh? Meaning that what was Takana Rabbi Yechim and Zakai? When he said his Takana was only that we will accept the Eidim from after Mincha L'mayla. But he didn't say that if the Eidim come in a Mincha L'mayla, that means the rest of that day you could do work, you could do malacha, you could do whatever you want. That part of the takana he never changed. Meaning, yes, the takana they made in times of Beis Hamikdash had two parts. Yeah, the takana made in times of Beis Hamikdash had two parts to it. First of all, if the Eidim came after Mincha, we wouldn't accept them, and also we would keep the whole day Kodesh.
That's 2 days misafik.
What?
So we're going to keep 2 days misafik.
We're going to keep not misafik, but mishum takanas chachamim. Yeah. So according to this,
then you won't be able to eat it, right? The second day.
So the Gemara says, so not even after Rabbi Yechim and Saka, Rabbi Yechim and Saka is only misakin that you could be makabel edim after mincha. That you could be makabel edim.
You won't be able to be. It would be us the second day. Rabbi said it's mutter because of his reason. Rabbi
because Rabbi Yechim, he didn't get rid of the whole takana. Right. He only got rid of that we could be makabel edim, but he didn't say that because the edim came that today is really very Rosh Hashanah. It means that we're going to make tomorrow Yom Chil. So the Maskana of the Gemara comes from here. The chayra that in even Eretz Yisrael you have to do 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. Right, that's the psak of the Rif in the fourth Ma'ar Makim. V'shamina meihad the Bnei Yisrael tzrich le'me'avet shnei yom tevim shel Rosh Hashanah. You learn out from here they needed 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. Right, because of the takana, right? Rabbi Yechim and Zaki didn't change the takana of the Chachamim. Right, because because like you said before, even if Eidim came in Mincha L'mayla that the first day Yom Lamed is really Rosh Hashanah, we're still going to treat Yom Lamed al Kodesh.
But this has a big difference. Kede Matakone, wenn die Eide sein kommen in Mincha L'mayla, der erste Tag wenn der Rabbone, der zweite der Reise.
Yeah.
Und da ist verkehrt, der erste der Reise und der zweite der Rabbone.
Before, when they wouldn't be Mekabel Eidim in a Mincha L'mayla, if they didn't came in a Mincha L'mayla, wouldn't listen to them, and therefore made the Reise the second day was Yom Tov. But now, once they started being Mekabel Eidim, even though it wasn't being Neig both days, the first day is the Reise, and the second day is the Rabbanon.
Even though the second day is really the
Rabbanon. Yeah, same base of Tishrei. Yeah. And Lepel, so the Shaila, so the Baal Hamar comes, so the Rif just said that halacha and Eretz Yisrael they have to do 2 days of Yom Tov. The Baal Hamar comes.
Or what is it?
Yeah, because the Takanas Chachamim, right? You see from the Gemara that even Rabbi Yechim and Zaki didn't change the Takana, they have to do 2 days of Yom Tov. It's Yom Arichta.
Okay.
So comes the Baal Hamar. He says he doesn't like the psaka. He doesn't like the psaka of the Rosh Hashanah of the Rif, and he says, and he even writes a lapel in Eretz Yisrael in his times. Until his times, the minimum was that they only did 1 day of Rosh Hashanah. They didn't do 2 days of Rosh Hashanah.
What if they with no Eidim then after Eidim?
Yeah, they didn't have Eidim anymore. They only did the things al pi cheshbon, and he says he says the minimum was only to do 1 day of Rosh Hashanah in Eretz Yisrael. So l'chera why? And l'chera we saw from Rabbi Yechim and Zaki they would do 2 days, both days. We saw
that was when they were Eidim.
Oh, so
by him there's no Eidim. You're talking about after there's Eidim, so and we know what time it is.
So what the Baal Hamar explains is that even in the times of Rabbi Yechim and Zaki, when we said that Rabbi Yechim and Zaki kept the takana to do both days, make both days Kodesh, both days Rosh Hashanah, that's only if the Eidim came after Mincha. So until after Mincha, so you didn't know what's going on. But even in times of Rabbi Yechim and Zaki, if the Eidim came in the morning, if already from the morning you knew which day was really Rosh Hashanah, then that day Yom Aleph, that Yom Lamed will be Rosh Hashanah, and the next day will be Yom Chil. Even in times of Rabbi Yechim and Zaki, they would only do 1 day. So Eva say nowadays that we b'chal don't do it al pi re'iyah. We do everything al pi cheshbon. So already from the morning we know that today is really the real day of Rosh Hashanah.
We should only keep 1 day according to that.
Yeah, so we should be just like a basin where the Eidim came before Mincha. The Ma'ayin do 1 day. So too now we should also only do, since everything is al pi cheshbon, we should also only do 1 day. This is in the fifth Ma'ar Makim. He says, "Ve'ein lanu shum rayim divrei Rava al mashe kasav." The Rif that he says that nowadays, therefore you have to do 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. He has no rayim on the earth. Shlei ner divrei Rava ela bizman shalhim kachin al piriyah. Because Rava was only talking about a time when they did things al piriyah. Aval b'deis halolun the achshe huskan seder ha'ibur that we do we know the seder of the melod al pi haminug shenhag b'yedenu. that we have the whole cheshbon. Hare chazra kol eretz Yisrael dias kebeis vad. The whole Eretz Yisrael is just like the Beis Vad, like the Beis Din, where the Edom will come to them. She'ein lahem safek b'dushas hayom. Right from the morning, or right away, they knew which day was really Rosh Hashanah. Ve'ein lechayev lishma ki'im yom echad, and they only have to keep one day. Bein b'Rosh Hashanah, bein b'Shayam Tevin, say other Yom Tevin. V'chein nagu lasis b'Eretz Yisrael, kol hader shayil fneinu. And this is all that this is all they were doing in Eretz Yisrael all the time, all the years before him. Ad ata until now, chadashim mikari vo l'sham. Until now, recently, some people showed up. But michachmi frabensia. And they started telling everyone they have to do 2 days of Rosh Hashanah according to the Psak of the Rif we saw earlier. Where's Provincia? I'm not sure.
Providence.
So this is a big machlekes. So apparently, this was the minhag back then for a while until the Chachmei Peninsula came and changed the minhag. The Ramban for inference he says, why did they change things? Chedi has a good time. So the Rashba in the 6th Maramakim writes that that time he agrees to the svara of the Baal Amor. He says Taki can't bring a right from Rava, but he says, well, since he still see from the Gemara that I said that we by Yom Tov Shel Goliath, he said that you should be careful the minhag of your fathers and do two Yom Tovim of Golus in case you forget what the cheshbon is.
So
there
was no minhag. When they say no have a minhag, you do it. But here he said there was no minhag. If the Edom would have come in the morning, you only did one day.
But he says you have the same chashash in the 6th Maramakim, right? Elashadvarim nirin kin la halacha lamaisik divi arith. So I think so. The Psak should be like the Rif. Zal mishum the kol makim yikol migzar mishum dil magazi shamda. Because every place you have a chashash that maybe there's going to be a shema, and we're not going to know what the cheshbon is anymore, and then we're going to end up doing Yom Tov on the wrong day. Therefore, avdina keminhag arishan. Therefore, we should keep the minhag that they did back then. That they did 2 days.
But their minhag was that when they knew they didn't keep 2 days.
Yeah, so it ends up being that we're being more machmir than they were.
We're not keeping our minhag.
Right.
The minhag damel to give an amavais. The Edom came in the morning. Amenagim after ein tag, and we're doing 2 days. Is hapmanish the minhag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the feel that's so the feel that Ramban says also you can't bring a raya.
Yeah.
The time of the Valamar that until then in Eretz Yisrael they would only do 1 day of Yom Tov.
It's a good time.
Yeah, so the Ramban says you can't bring a raya on the minhag it used to be because all the Chachamim went into Golus. Only people that were left in Eretz Yisrael were the people who didn't know too much. But maybe they can't bring a raya from the minhag what the minhag in Eretz Yisrael was. That's the Ramban. So this is so the sikkim. So a lot of shakavitaria. So the fail is machlekes. First, you got a machlekes in Yom Tov Shel Goliath whether it's one long condition or it's two separate conditions, right? And the yesod of the machlekes whether it's one long condition or not is Yom Tov Shel Goliath a takana of the chachamim that you have to keep both days, or did it originally start from a minhag that we had a suffix and therefore one of them is a yom chil?
So where are we now according to the Rashba that it's minhag of Seinu is what? That means it's one long day.
So Rosh Hashanah we treat
Not a suffix.
Rosh Hashanah la'alacha is one long day, and something which is also on the first day is going to be also on the second day, and other Yom Tovim is 2 separate days, and there's 2 separate days, and we have machlekes whether Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah did it change. Now that we do things up here, we have machlekes.
Other days it should for sure be Yom Arichtik because there's no suffix.
Other days not
Yom
It should be. So that sein.
Yom Arichta depends.
So was machen wir 2 Tage bei der anderen Yom Tov? Was da suffix?
Ja.
Ist es auch kein suffix?
Bei Sie gewinnen ein Suffix, bei uns minhag.
Bei Sie gewinnen ein Suffix, Tesvav gewinnen ein Suffix.
Yeah, but Tesva originally, and whether Yom Arichta or not, doesn't depend on whether it's a suffix. Depends on is this a takana of the chachamim or do we start doing it on our own? Whether it's a suffix or not, if we start doing it on our own because we weren't sure which day is right, so for sure you can't say both of them are Yom Tov. Who told you to do 2 days? So we don't know, so we do both of them. You can't say it's one long kedusha. For sure, one of them is a Yom Chil. Yom Arichta is only it means that we say that do Yom Tov Sheni is a takana of the chachamim. If we say both of them are for sure kodesh, made all the time one deraisa, one derabanan, but both of it, and it could be also misan suffix, but it was a takana of the chachamim. If it's a takana of the chachamim, says both of them are for sure yomtiv. There's no man of shach, one of them is for sure chel. This is what it boils down to. So
makes a big difference in halacha. Now the Erev, you can make the Moshe Toiminus vergessen machen the Erev, saying vergessen geben tun das meistens. So let's say Yontiv is Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. So you can make it tonight in the first day. So if today is Chayil, so I mache the Erev jetzt. Und dann morgen sagt er, ich habe Nacht nicht gewinnt Chayil. Wenn ich doch kein Kochen. Ich habe betrunken, so meistens kann man sich Erev zu verstehen, dass man mich dann sehen. Ich habe Erev schon have to check, aber ich habe betrunken, so meistens kann man sich das dann. Aber Rosh Hashanah kann man das nicht dann.
So,
aber Chassidus hat das, today's meant us, als man kriegt die Kedusha, was kann man nicht nehmen in einen Tag, you have to take it in 2 days. So it's not because the Soviet mites is, this is we have to do. In the einen Tag, was ich kann nehmen die Kedusha.
Was in Eretz Yisrael macht man einen Tag,
Es ist so. You gotta get more.
Die Tag steht, der Rebbe gesagt, wird Tag geführt, und soll echt 2 Tage zu dem Tag. Weil jetzt sollte schwer, dass man Kabel sein in einen Tag, als größere Kedusha.
Aber es ist doch es ist so, kann man jedem Kabel sein in einen Tag.
Ja, aber es ist schwer, also. Die Mail, das steht von alten Rebbe, nein, das ist echt, wird mit Sate gewinnt,
es wird wegen Birchas Kain.
Ja, Birchas Kain.
Birchas Kain.
Aber das steht ja, dass mit Kabel sind 2 Tage.
So that's, one other machlekes is that even though Salopel halacha we say that Rosh Hashanah is kedusha achas. So machlekes comes up, but what about when it comes to shechianu? Should we make a shechianu on both these of Yom Tov? So there's a shiv from Rashi. Rashi says that they were good. The Gainim said that since it's one long kedusha, so if Rosh Hashanah is one long kedusha, so first night already made shechianu on the Yom Tov. Why do I have to make another shechianu the next night? And also, Yom comes to Shofar, right? You blew Shofar yesterday. You made a Shabbat. You made a Shechin on the Shofar. So next day, do you need to make a Shechin on the Shofar? Rashi says you do make a Shechin on both these, and that's the halacha. The reason is because the reason we do Yom Tov Sheni, we do both days, is because that's the way they did in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah, in Eretz Yisrael they would do even if the Edom came after Mincha, they would still do the next day Kodesh. And even though back then the second day was the day which was the Yom Tov Midaraisa in Eretz Yisrael.
It's a Yom Arichta, but it's not a Yom Arichta.
The second day, the Iker Yom Tov was Yom Sheni. So for sure they needed to make another Shechianu on the second day of Yom Tov, because that was the Iker Yom Tov. They couldn't be Yetzer with the Shechianu they made on the first day.
That's 2 days, and just like they did twice, we do twice, and just like we do each time, a Shechianu.
Yeah. So just like it was by then, they did it twice. But by us also, we do it twice, even though we know the Iker Yom Tov is the first day.
Edel Svara. No, I'm saying because the Yom Arichta, but it's still 2.
Right, but in Eretz Yisrael, but what did they do in Eretz Yisrael? Right, in Eretz Yisrael is also Yom Arichta, but let's say the Edom came after Mincha, so they weren't Mekabel the Edom. So we say today is Kodesh, and tomorrow is Kodesh. Which day is Yom Tov Midaraisa? The second day.
Yeah? How many times did they blow Shofar then?
So they blow Shofar twice, but could you say that?
Did they blow Shofar twice?
Yeah, they were. Could you be Yetzer with the blowing Shofar on the first day of Yom Tov for the second day? The second day is Yom Tov Midaraisa. Right? Could he be Yetzer with the Shechianu he made on the first day for the second day? Can't be Yetzer, because the second day is the Yom Tov Midaraisa.
But there's There's 2 things in that Yom Arichta. There's 2 days in the Yom Arichta.
Yeah, because it was massive before the chiluk between before the Kana after the Kana. Back then, the Yom Tov Sheni was the Raisa, and the first Yom Tov was Midarabanan. Nowadays, the Yom Tov Rishon is Midaraisa, and the Yom Tov Sheni is Midarabanan.
So how do you make a Shechianu on the Rabbanan? Mitzad there too, we do.
Yeah, so since we do it only because of the way they did it, so when they did it, the Yom Tov Sheni was the Raisa, so that was the Iker one, so for sure they had to make another Shechianu.
Okay.
So therefore, we also make a Shechianu. So we try to be machmir. We try to have a pre chadash and a beged chadash. Be machmir for the shittas that say you shouldn't make a shechianu. In order to be machmir for them, but if you don't have a beged, you make a shechianu anyways.
Why in Eretz
Because
the Baal Mor did not live in Eretz Yisrael. the Chachmei prevents you to not living there. So they all lived
They
over
moved
there
there.
in Spain and in Europe over
They
there.
moved over there and they changed the.
They all
changed
lived over
everything.
there, and so the shouts that were in Kislar, but in the soul, there should have been that.